Alright, ladies and gents, we are back. This time taking on the lovely Australian Grand Prix. Kind of hoping it goes well, but luckily, did the practices. I pretty much probably do them off camera, and then pretty much just gonna cover the qualifying and the race in its entirety. I don't think people will mind, but I just kind of like, giving the perspective of the race. But hopefully it's not too bad. Well, can only hope anyway. But with that being said, we shall jump into qualifying. Well, that was a interesting qualifying. I didn't intentionally mean to use the rewind twice, but it's a force of habit, I guess. But I mean, not entirely right at the back of the field, but
with qualifying
close
finished,
to midway.
it's time to remind ourselves of our top three: Hamilton, Bottas, and Charles Leclerc. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Well, not where I potentially could have ended up, but again, it's just the first race for this car, so if we're lucky, we'll see what happens. Ah, well, can you do? hiccups happen and being a new car. What it is. But, you know, time to tackle the race and see what happens. Not where you start, it's where you finish. Luckily for me, hoping it's picking up a couple points would be nice, but you know, what messages we got. Oop, it's gonna be cloudy and then partly cloudy. But on that note, start this up and we'll see what happens.
No more testing, no more practice. This is the real deal. And it's make or break here at Albert Park, home of the Australian Grand Prix since 1996. And home to round one of this year's Formula One World Championship. Just south of Melbourne's downtown business centre is the one and only Albert Park circuit. 3.3 miles of public roads, closed for the weekend of course, make for a bumpy circuit with little undulation. There are 16 corners around the lake and a couple of good passing opportunities here as well, thanks in part to the DRS zones into turns 1, 3 and 13. Can Mercedes start with victory in their bid to win a 7th consecutive Constructors' title? Could Ferrari or Red Bull establish an advantage early on? And with 22 cars on the grid, how quickly can the new team find their footing? Well, it's great to be back, Anthony Davidson. We've got a lot to talk about this year.
That's right, Crofty. It felt like a long winter, but it's good to finally be back. I have to think the usual suspects will battle it out at the front, but there are always going to be some teething problems early on in the season, so whoever can keep on top of their issues will have the advantage today.
As I mentioned earlier, we're up to 11 teams this season, with a new entry run by, well, of all things, an owner-driver. That's something we haven't seen in this sport since Hector Raback over 4 decades ago. So how are they looking so far?
It's hard to imagine how a small operation like that could survive in the ruthless world of Formula One, and yet here they are, first ever race looking surprisingly strong. But there are no points for qualifying. Let's see how they fare in the Grand Prix proper.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Leclerc, Sainz, Sebastian Vettel, and Albon. Verstappen, Ricciardo, Stroll, and Esteban Ocon. Kvyat, Perez, Kimi Raikkonen, Red, Magnussen, Gasly, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Lando Norris. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Grosjean, Schumacher, Latifi, and George Russell ends our grid lineup. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
10-4, Jeff. Well, let's double check our race strategy. Lap 7, change to mediums. Well, they put an extra, what, 2 laps, I think, worth of fuel in, so we'll see how well it works. I think that looks about good. Well, show on the road. Yeah.
Are you okay? nasty hit.
I think we're going to
Turn
use the
engine
rewind
off
on
and
that
wait for
one.
the marshals.
Didn't want to use a rewind, but
Well done, mate. Nice start.
why, thank you, Jeff. It's nice to know you were a little behind us on that one. Just be nice if I can get a few more spots, then it wouldn't be too bad, but I mean, it's supposed to be pretty clear, so guess we'll see what happens. I mean, unless Jeff tells me otherwise, which okay, I'm using that because I don't even know how that happened. But unfortunately, it should be this lap. They're gonna let me have DRS, so it should work out just fine.
DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
I was pretty sure I was in 1 second there. But I guess we'll have to catch them and
Someone's
figure it
come
out.
off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead. Okay, you need to give that position back. That was an illegal overtake. VSC deployed. The virtual safety car has been deployed. We need to keep a positive delta here. Slow down, maintain a positive delta.
Charles Leclerc is out of the race. Well, at least we got the safety car, so that's kind of a
Virtual
bonus.
safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until the green flag. VSC ending. Wait for green.
Alright, Perez, I want to get that spot back from you.
Gap to team behind is 5.0 seconds. Mick is in the pits. Mick in the pits.
Alright, Mick's already in the pits. Oh. Either he thought it was going to be longer, a longer VSC, or he has issue. Which I guess it could be either way. But who knows? Give me that air. Come on.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
Come on, Perez.
Some information on Gasly. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
Well, we'll just hope.
Caution, caution. Caution, caution. Yellow flags ahead. No overtaking through the caution zone. Be careful until you see the greens. The track is clear. Green flag.
That yellow went back to green pretty quick. Which that's just a good sign, honestly.
Mick's dropped out of the race.
Oh, I had that slide coming out of that turn, and that just definitely did not help. But I think we can still catch Perez in that time. I think the guy behind is going to catch us first.
Box, box. We're coming in this lap.
You just got to hold off until we can get in there. which I don't think I'm going to catch up to Perez before I get to pit. But we're gonna make up sometime, I hope.
Exit now. You'll be racing as you leave the pits. Go now.
Not a good thing, red guy right behind me.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tires.
Game's going, yeah, you can go through that on fourth. Yeah, I don't even know if I would have made that or not. But I mean, I could have gave it a go, I guess. But we'll see anyway. Mick's already out of the race, so I mean, not a good sign.
Gap to car in front is 3.1 seconds. Green flag. Full course caution. The safety car is out. Keep an eye on the delta. We need to keep it positive to avoid a penalty. Slow down. Maintain positive delta.
I'm pretty sure I just kind of cut that corner a little too quick. Cut him off, but
Okay, some information on Magnussen. They are out of the race.
oh. Magnusson's out, Mick's out. Turning into a real great.
Drop your speed. Our delta is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
I'm assuming after Norris got the spin, it was an accident, honestly, but somebody must have creamed them because I don't think they would have had the safety car otherwise. Which is a good possibility to happen. I honestly didn't even see the the crash or nothing behind me. I mean, I kind of caused it, but I mean, that's aside from that. We're gonna worry about this. Now let's double check. 6, 7, okay. Tires are good, brakes are good. Actually hit him. Use a rewind, why not? Used a few rewinds already, it's not gonna hurt, I don't think, to do another 1 or 2, I guess. There's what, 7? Well, 2 guys rode already, okay. Well, no, 3 I think. Count it. I keep forgetting I'm the add-on team. There's 22 cars. Okay, so apparently after this, could be 3, I think.
Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember, there is no overtaking until the green flags. Safety car in this lap.
Safety car in this lap. Guess we're gonna find out.
Green flag. Green flag.
There we go, get her going again.
We're 3 laps over target on fuel. Are you all right? Sit tight.
I'm
The
no.
marshals are on their way.
Oh, we got 3 laps to go. We'll find out. plus extra. See what happens
We
towards
have
the end.
5 laps of fuel remaining. The gap to the car ahead is 1.6 seconds. Okay, the stewards have now enabled DRS.
Come on.
DRS is now online.
He's gonna DRS, isn't he? Well, I'm not gonna catch the other guys, but I can kind of get away with this one.
Alright, so are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay,
And then I get
please.
nudged off. Great. Mostly because he couldn't keep it on the track, apparently. How did that work? So he nudges me and my wing goes flying off. I have to use some restarts here.
Are you alright? Engine off.
So he
engine
does
off.
that, and that's A-okay. I don't know how
This is
that
your
worked,
final
but
lap.
okay.
Final lap of the
I'll
race.
take it. But either way,
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
and to really jam the brakes on for that one. Well, we're done anyway, so.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
Aside from them dozen restarts, or rewinds, or what do you want to call them. Which I intended not to do, but with that issue near Gasly, I think it was, and it didn't really help
What do you
much.
think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh
Unfortunately.
rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
What can you do, you know? A little bit of a coding issue. Whoops. Oh well. Apologies for that. Twice has happened. Would unlock nothing and something. Apparently. Who knew? Oh well.
Let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. Lewis Hamilton takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after an excellent result. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Well, for me, it's got to be Lewis Hamilton. The multiple world champion may be the boring choice at this point, but you can't argue that he's a driver deserving of his reputation.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes move to the top of the table. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
But that has been the Australian Grand Prix. With the dozen rewinds and the few instances that kind of went a little different than I was anticipating, but somehow managed to get a 12th out of it. I'm not really sure how, but managed it anyways, so. But yeah, that's been the Australian Grand Prix. Pretty sure Bahrain's next. Hopefully that goes a little better. I guess we'll see when we get there. See what happens. But on that note, this shall be the end for this video. We'll tackle Bahrain next. I'm pretty sure it is anyways. I'll have to double check, but well, yeah. Hopefully everybody enjoyed, even with the dozen rewinds. So hopefully we shall see everybody for the next one, and yeah, we shall see everybody in the next video.